Hello, everyone. My name is Marianne Holder, and I am with Bizagi. I'm head of digital demand generation, and I'm here with Christian Magin. He is the product manager for business workflows at BASF, and we're here today to talk about a few things around automation and how BASF is actually using Bizagi within their automation. So just wanted to pose a few questions with you, Christian, and tell me how you decided to use Bizagi within your organization and where are you currently using it?
Yeah. Hi, Marianne. Yeah, thanks for that question. In BASF, when we started our Bizagi journey basically 4 years ago, we had a huge need for implementing simplistic workflows. And it was a huge number, which was basically the challenge. And we looked for a tool with which it's very easy to efficiently implement processes. Then we figured out after quite a time that Bizagi can not only deal with simplistic processes, but also with complex ones. So basically, we ended up now having implemented more than 35 different processes from, let's say, small, also up to very complex. And we have really a broad range of processes. So it's not only one area we are working on. BASF is big. We have more than 100,000 employees. We have a lot of different divisions. And basically, we are in touch with each and everybody about having the need for implementing workflows. So we have, let's say, the hugest area where we are in is dealing about material master data. And these kind of workflow is a kind of pre-process to deal with the ERP system. We are working together with procurement to simplify their processes, also with building and construction, for example, shipping chemicals around, right, to trace this. Also, administrative processes, for example, like document approvals. These are the areas where we really make use out of Bizagi. And in addition to that, we figured out that we can also make use out of this live process functionality. And because we have a running citizen development initiative, and this is especially makes sense for getting implemented the very simplistic workflows directly by the business users. So again, it's a very broad range where we're using Bizagi, but so far it works.
Great. Well, what were the business needs that that required a new digital process automation platform that you encountered?
Yeah. So as I said, in the beginning, we had a huge demand basically to migrate workflows, simplistic ones, workflows which were implemented on legacy systems. And so first of all, the focus was to get these processes migrated. As I mentioned, then we figured out, hey, we can also deal with complex processes. So we extended more and more the scope where we Bizagi. And for sure, it's very important also for our business users that we have a high efficiency by implementing the processes. Everybody knows when we get a demand, it should be implemented the day before, right? Everybody knows that. It should be very fast, cost effective, and also giving flexibility, for example, by implementing in an agile way. Probably 4 years ago, we were one of the first dealing with the cloud native approach, so to say, which also gave us benefits in regards to the implementation.
That's excellent. The citizen development and the move to cloud is so relevant to so many companies. So tell me, what kind of challenges did you have, or what do you expect, in terms of helping within your company with Bizagi? Like, what sorts of things do you see?
Yeah, like I mentioned, especially with the easy processes, the very simplistic ones, it's always about process transparency. And that's a great feature from Bizagi, that you always can take a look, hey, who's in charge to deal with a task, who did a task just previously before. Yeah, when I have a question, I can reach out to the guy to ask a question. So this process transparency feature it was very, or is still, very important for us. If you, because I talked about this simplistic processes. I mean, before we had a lot of processes, which were executed by mail, basically. You know that having a Word attachment, an Excel attachment, you send with a mail, and you send it to someone. First of all, you need to figure out, hey, who's the right guy? Is it the current version of the template? Typically, it is not. Yeah, and you need to redo it, and then it's basically a black hole, right? And you have no clue what's going on. And this is exactly, the benefit we have with the process transparency. On the other side, I mean, we have the Bizagi work portal, and this is a go-to place for the workflows. It's very easy for someone who wants to start a workflow. He only needs to remember one portal, one URL to go, and then having a modern user experience, also mobile capabilities. This is also another topic which is very important for the users, because as soon as they know how to deal with one workflow, they know that it's very, very similar for other workflows like this. So the learning curve is definitely there. Another feature which makes us really happy is the analytics and the process optimization. So we are also starting doing that, because with workflows you gather a lot of data and you can really make use out of that, basically to optimize running processes. And sometimes, it's just fun if you look to the initial requirements, what you had, and later if you analyze your process, let's say half a year later, when it came to production, and then you figure out, hey, the process might run in a very different way in reality than it was intended in the very beginning. And so then you can even make more use out of it by optimizing the process itself. And I would say the last topic was really to enable business users with self-service capabilities. So this is our running citizen development initiative. And so we started also here half a year ago, basically to make use out of this Bizagi Live processes.
Great. Well, what's the ideal use for automation, and what do you think the benefits that you could achieve from that?
Yeah, first of all, I think it's very important to spend time to clearly define the process. So it's not, first of all, about technology. First of all, it's about the business process itself, the sequence of tasks, for example. Also to thinking about KPIs. How long should a task take? How long should the process as a whole take from start to end? And because these KPIs can have an impact on how you design the flow, and this gives you the benefit later on when you do the analytics, for example. And so you have the ability to do the improvements later. Another learning is that you shouldn't try to achieve everything at once, right? So just do the go live in only one wave with every bells and whistle. We do it in an iterative approach, starting small, giving also the users confidence how the system is running, and then everybody get confident with the system, gets ideas how to improve things, and this, let's say, iterative approach with small improvements also helps to achieve exactly the output which is wished. And last but not least, then we are coming more to technology, right? Because it's also about automation. And for sure, automation, when we are able to automate different tasks, include system tasks, having an interface to an ERP system, for example, then this is less error prone. For example, to write data, to read data, so you can avoid duplicate work and can save time by having this automation and can reduce your manual activities.
That's excellent, Christian. And so tell us about any technology integrations that you're using alongside Bizagi, like SAP or any RPAs or any of those vendors.
Yeah, so first of all, I need to say we are on the cloud, as I mentioned in the beginning. So probably you know that Bizagi has a lot of out-of-the-box connectors. Typically, you can make use out of that in on-premise scenarios. For us, this was also a kind of learning in the beginning that our architecture is a bit different. For example, we need to use a middleware to connect the cloud with the on-premise system, for example, and so we cannot make use out of that middleware and need to implement, for example, custom components. Nevertheless, we managed it to connect, for example, to our ERP system. In this case, it's SAP. So we have reading interfaces, writing interfaces. We have also connections to SQL databases in the cloud, running, for example, on Azure or AWS, for example, and connect to SharePoint for exchanging data, having an archive system in place, things like that. This is basically currently the scenario, but for sure the need and from the business users is definitely there, and also to integrate way more systems in the future.
That's excellent. So give us any of your words of advice to any company that might be seeking to automate their processes.
Yeah, so first of all, as I said, it's not all, I mean, we are DevOps guys, right? Technicians, and it's fun, to deal with technology for sure. But I guess the biggest learning is by implementing a workflow. I mean, we deal with different people, different roles, different businesses. So this is our learning that we need to focus first on the guys, on the human, so to say, and focusing on the process itself, to optimize the process first, and then set up, let's say, the technology, implement the process flow, set up the data model, and so on. But first of all, the focus should be on the business partners, on the humans. And for sure, as I said, the process model, it's always appreciated, if the users already have an idea about the process model. If it's there, then we can think about. Then it's easier to talk about optimizations. If it's not there, I mean, we can start from scratch. That's also possible. But again, the confidence must be there, especially for users we deal with for the first time, because I guess everybody who hasn't dealt with workflows before, it's a different thinking. You need to get used to that, and you need to gain a bit experience. So that's always a good investment to do this first. And I guess typical for a workflow is for the process model that you have different users, different roles, different swim lanes, you can call it as well. And it's very important to try to involve these users from the beginning. So not all of them, but at least 1 to 2 users per role. So to get a broad insight about the requirements, not talking to one guy first, and we think, okay, this guy knows everything about the process, especially for the bigger ones, right? It's very important to get a holistic picture about the users, how they need to deal with the system. And so over time, I mean, you collect a lot of information, right? And Bizagi also offers now the AI functionality. I mean, we don't use it yet, but for sure this is the idea, because we gather a lot of data in the running processes, and we are pretty sure that we can make use out of that in the future. Also, for example, for automating decisions where we today need human interactions with. So that's definitely something we are looking for the future.
That's excellent. I like hearing about the human interaction with the automated processes and really considering that. So thank you again, Christian, and
Welcome.
so much. All right. Great, thank you. Now we've heard from Christian Magin with BASF, and now we'll be hearing from Rafael Bardales. The CBC is the oldest bottler of PepsiCo outside of the United States, and I just wanted to take a moment to introduce you to Rafael. Rafael, do you want to say a few things about CBC and your role there?
Hi, Marianne. Nice to meet you. I work for CBC. CBC was founded more than 130 years ago in Guatemala City, but right now we have presence in 11 countries through the Americas. We are the oldest Pepsi bottler outside the United States, and also we have Anheuser-Busch InBev, the largest beer company in the world, is a partner also, and we are a company who distributes beverage and food with more than 12,000 employees, and here we are to speak with you about BPM.
That's great. So tell me about your path to choosing Bizagi within your organization and how you anticipate using Bizagi at CBC.
Okay, I'm in charge of the shared service center. We give the services to all across the company, to all areas. And right now we are using a very old version of VPN software from another vendor. It's outdated. And we started the journey to find the new partner to go with us in this journey to update our VPN software. And we select Bizagi. And why? Because we were looking for a worldwide player. Also, software as a service is very important for us. Have this software in cloud-based, and also main feature like the easy integration with our ERP. We use SAP, and also have the right support worldwide and locally to implement the solution. That's why we select Bizagi.
That's excellent. So tell me maybe some of the business needs that you had to select a solution like Bizagi automation.
Okay, as I told you, we serve all the countries here from Guatemala, and we operate more than 1,200 million transactions per year because we have a lot of process inside the tool. And that's why we need a tool who we can show the business all the, if we are complying with the SLAs, all the process were followed, that they were defined, and the right authorization were done, etc., etc. And we cover services from the accountant, customers, prices, discounts, everything related to master data and payroll and other areas. And that's very important for us, handling the request from the user area and comply with the SLA they are expecting.
Excellent. So the types of challenges that we might be able to help with at your company, what would you say those could be?
Okay, we have the challenge right now with the other vendor in the technical part, because as already mentioned, we process a lot of transaction, and it's an on-premise solution and give us a lot of issues to maintain and tune in the tool. That's what we are looking for, software as a service, as you provide with Bizagi. And in the other part, we are interested in invest more in RPA solutions, because obviously we have a lot of opportunities to use this kind of tools, and Bizagi is ready to go with that kind of solutions. That's part of our selection of Bizagi also.
So is it fair to say that your backbone, some of the other technology integrations, are SAP and other RPA vendors?
Yes. For us, SAP is very important because it's the core business runs on SAP. All the major process, order to cash, procure to pay, everything runs on SAP, and it's important for us, the integration or BPM tool with SAP.
Excellent. So tell me, and do you have any words of advice for a company that might be looking at Bizagi and some of the qualifying things that might tell someone why they would choose Bizagi?
Yes, more if the companies are in the way to implement shared service of give services to a lot of people. Bizagi is the right tool to handle the request, because try to handle this amount of transaction by email or by phone call is complex. It's really complex, and probably you're gonna miss something, or you're not gonna comply with the SLAs you have with the business. That is very important. We have tools like BPM. And the second one for me needs to be a software as a service solution, because that will be avoid the companies all this tuning and database maintenance and all related to the infrastructure. We are not for handling that kind of stuff, that kind of issues. We need to be focused on the business need, not in the database of operating system needs. That is a very important thing. And also check for a vendor who has a global presence with the right support and with the right partners to implement this kind of solution. That's why we choose Bizagi.
Excellent. So do you have any other words of wisdom about the technical integrations or Bizagi in general?
A couple of weeks away from our first go live. As already mentioned, we have a lot of process right now running, but we select the four with more requests. We are related to the content department, all the budget control, customers, and all the credit authorization for customers. We are going live in 2 weeks, and we are very excited about the result we're going to have with those new tools. The rest of the roadmap with our projects, we have a 18 months plan to put everything inside Bizagi, and so far it's so good. We are on plan relating to time and budget, and that's always a good thing.
Well, that's excellent, Rafael. It's been so pleasurable to speak with you today, and I look forward to hearing more about your success with your rollout, and thanks very much for your time today.
My pleasure. You are welcome.